it's Amber from The Sensible Mama. I'm here with Nicole Rene Watson. I will link her channel down below. It's a great channel. Holla at your girl. So first things first, I am nursing Abby right now. She's below deck. Do you ever get surprised by the things that come out of your mouth?
Yes, every day.
This is gonna be a weird one.
Yep. And I'm making eye contact with Abby.
Which means you're making eye contact with my boob. Is it looking at you?
When she's suckling you. Best friends.
Look, now Abby's giving me the side eye. She's like, would you shut up?
Yeah, trying to eat here.
I'm trying to enjoy my meal. It's just a mess already.
I love it. Yes, girl.
Yes.
It's giving me life.
I am living for this video.
Literally. By the way, that's a huge pet peeve that I have. I could literally eat a cow right now. I'm so hungry. No, you literally couldn't because it literally wouldn't fit. Literally.
Oh God, do we even have a purpose for this video?
No, yes. Finding your mom friend. Yep.
Can we make the video only looking at ourselves in the monitor? Can we do the whole video like this? Mm-hmm. Hey guys, it's Amber from The Sensible Mom.
It is a lot easier to do that.
At least I know I'm in the frame.
Yes. Can you actually see it?
Sort of. So, mom friends. And other things.
Yes, and I think this video is super fitting after yesterday. I think we've talked about filming a video like this every time that we've been together. This is our 4th in-person meet, and each time we talk about how important it is to have this friendship and how important we are to each other, and how a lot of people don't have it, and how we didn't have it before this friendship, before a year and a half ago, really, when it all started. She posted a live video yesterday where she surprised me at my house after flying from Georgia to Minnesota and did not tell me and did not really tell anybody except one of my cousins, who then got in contact with me and let me know, or let Amber know where I was, just that Amber would kind of have an idea of when I was going to be home. So Amber surprised me. She flew all the way with Roman, and we are going to take advantage of that opportunity and make a video together. And so we've talked about making this video, and I feel like after yesterday at the Sensible Mama get together, and we got to meet some people in person and witness a couple other friendships that were kind of like this one, and just how important it is, and we thought we'd talk about how we found each other in that regard.
Yeah, I think a lot of people tend to think that you and I have always been friends. Like, if they don't know the story, especially if they're new to our channels, I think that people just assume we've always known each other. We started our YouTube channels together.
Yeah.
And that's actually not true. Get out of here with them highfalutin Calvin Klein jeans you got on.
Oh, like Heidi Tidy.
Heidi Tidy?
Like hoity toity.
Hoity toity! Do you say Heidi Tidy?
Not really. I don't know, but like, is that what it means?
Yeah.
Like uppity, like.
Yeah, like, yes.
Okay, wait, say the word again?
Highfalutin.
Highfalutin.
Highfalutin. I knew of Nicole's channel. I don't think I was subscribed, but I had watched several of your videos. And so one day I noticed that you had commented on one of my videos, and I was like, hang on, I think that this is a big YouTuber in the mommy world, you know, and I was still so small at the time, and so I looked at your channel and I was like, oh my gosh, she has a lot of subscribers. What is she doing watching my channel? And I think we just chatted back and forth in YouTube comments for a little while, right?
Yeah, yep.
That's always
I don't want to
the
come
fear.
on too strong.
Yes, the careful dance of
Yes.
internet friendships.
Yes, very much so. And the reason I say that is because there was another intimate aspect of our relationship that maybe Amber didn't know about yet. That sounds weird. But she had talked about a couple of things that were really dear to me. I think at one point you had mentioned Charlie's illness at some point, and that's something that I very personally relate to. And there was a lot of things that drew me to Amber, so I didn't want to reveal that right away. Like, hey, your husband has a very intimate illness that I also sort of share with. And
I don't think you want to say an intimate illness.
yeah, that's true.
Re-rack it.
Yes, okay.
Try again.
I didn't want to reveal to Amber that the reason why I was drawn to her was maybe something that was a little too personal, so I was trying not to come on too strong right away.
And so then one day after we had like commented on each other's video, or like we had a thread going on one of my videos, I think, you sent me a PM. And it was long. And it basically started off with exactly what she just said. Like, hey, I don't want to scare you, and I don't want you to feel like I'm a weirdo, but there's a lot of things that we have in common, and I just felt like I needed to say it to you.
Yeah. I have to share that this is a video that really got me interested in getting to know Amber more. The title of your video, you were at a point where you were doing packing videos, but then you were periodically doing story time videos. Mm-hmm. And you did a video sharing, I think, a story that you and Charlie your neighbors had called the cops or something.
Yes.
And this moment I will always remember. And Amber was retelling the story and doing such a great job. And she was describing a scene of her and Charlie peeping out and watching this unfold. And then Amber, I think your words were, and then it started to get civil boring.
And we keep watching for a while. But like most cop calling situations, it gets uninteresting after a little while, especially when both people are being compliant. It's just boring.
And I laughed out loud and I just thought, this is somebody I want to get to know more. And yeah, for so many reasons I felt like I need to be friends with her without overthinking it too much. Like, it revealed to me that you had a sense of humor and that you had kind of a unique sense of humor that I could relate to. And I was very intrigued and wanted to get to know you more.
This was kind of the first time that I really felt like someone reached out to me and said that there was a connection here and that I felt it too. I was immediately like, yeah, I want to get to know this person.
It's atypical for me to have done that, to reach out to Amber this way. I have been married for a few years, and I just sort of assumed that having a close female friend was something that was not in the cards for me. This whole concept of having like that mom friend and just that person that you can share with a lot of like intimate details about my life that I really didn't think was ever a possibility has happened now in this relationship. And it all started just because I felt this really strong connection with Amber, and it has kind of come to what it is now. I live in Minnesota and Amber lives in Georgia, for anyone that didn't know. I think that our friendship has definitely closer because we have had the opportunity to meet in real life, but we were really good friends before any in-person meeting happened. Like, I don't want people to feel discouraged that because they're not at a place right now that they can't fly somewhere, or that someone maybe couldn't fly to them. I don't want that to make any... I had no... Like, when Amber came to visit me for the first time, it was a complete surprise. Like, I didn't know anything about it. She showed up and she was there. And I don't want people to feel like, well, because they can't travel right now, or they're not in a place that they can do that they're limited and they can't have online friends. I felt a real strong sense of community with Amber and with her group on Facebook before we ever saw each other in real life. And there's people in that group that I feel that sense of community with who I probably will never meet in real life.
Yeah, and like, I don't want to like make this video about our community, but I will say that yesterday at the get-together, there were so many girls who had said, like, I was so alone and didn't feel like I had anybody. And I found the Sensible Mama Chatorama on Facebook, and that was where I started meeting people. And now I'm here, and I feel like I know these women, even though this is the first time that I'm meeting them. There were people who said that, like, being a part of that community is what saved them from postpartum depression. And postpartum depression is a real thing that probably cannot be fixed with friendships alone.
Right.
But I do think that having people to relate to you and talk you through things is such a big deal.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't have to be our community. I mean, there's tons of great communities on Baby Center and stuff like that. We focus ours on kindness and respect, and I feel like that goes a long way, because not all mom communities are respectful.
Absolutely. I've never been diagnosed with postpartum depression, and I don't think that I ever dealt with it on that level. I had baby blues a lot with my first, especially because I just felt like my identity had been ripped away from me, and finding women who there's that like-mindedness with was really, really important to me. And I didn't know that until my oldest was almost 3 years old. It took a long time, and I'm so grateful that I found some people with shared perspectives.
And especially to meet people who might be a little bit further along on the journey than you are. Like, so when I had Abby, she was experienced at having 2 children and juggling that, because she had a 3-year-old at the time, and Rhea was like just past a year at the time, right around a year. And so Nicole, she just said, all right, you're in labor, I booked a flight. And she literally got here. I had Abby at 7 o'clock in the morning here at home, and Nicole was at my doorstep that night by like 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, she just took over with holding Abby so that I could go get a shower, sent me and my husband to bed, and she stayed up until 1 o'clock in the morning until Abby needed to nurse again, and bounced her on that ball for me. I just would not have ever even known that that was a possibility, like that someone would do that for you. And I also would have never known to offer that to someone else in the future if you hadn't been further down the road and someone had taught you to do this, and you came and did it for me, and now I'll do it for somebody else. And to think that I would not have had that blessing if you and I had never gotten to know each other online.
Yeah.
Look at all the drool on me.
Was that all that? Is that all
Yes,
drool?
that's all drool. Thank you, Abby. That'll look nice on film. The sensible daddy comes to the rescue. So now I just have a drool-soaked shirt and no baby to account for it.
You can start foaming at the mouth. I have to lost my train of thought.
How's it go?
It's gonna come back. Oh yeah, now
It worked.
Okay.
Telepathy.
it's so important to have somebody who you don't feel alone with. Having fussy kids and having feelings of real discouragement, and feeling like you're failing, that kind of stuff is normal. And Amber was one of the first people outside of my relationship with my husband who I could message and share that with. Even before we saw each other in person, somebody who I could say like, hey, I am feeling like I could do harm to my children right now because I am so frustrated. Like there were times when my youngest was younger and was not sleeping at all ever through the night. And my first one was never this difficult. And Amber had an experience with her first being a difficult sleeper. And she would say to me like, I have felt that exact same way. That feeling of like, you could be a violent person right now because you're so sleep deprived and you're so discouraged and you still have 2 little kids. Like it's not just that you've been having a rough night and now you have the day to recover. You had a really rough night and now the day is going to be even rougher.
Yeah.
And there were times that I let her know that, and I was like, I'm over it. And she was like, that's okay. That's okay to be over it. It's okay to feel that way. I mean, don't go do things to your child, but it's okay to feel that. There's a difference, and having someone validate those feelings is so important so that you don't go down a really dark way.
You made a video about this. You talked about this.
At one point today, at about 3 o'clock, when she should have been taking her nap, and she wasn't, then I had like the first of many breakdowns today. And I would never shake my child. I would never intentionally hurt my baby. But today I had one of those moments where I got as close as I think I ever have. And it is so discouraging because in that moment, obviously I'm not gonna shake my child, but the best thing that I can do is set my screaming baby down and walk away.
And I remember there were some not so pleasant comments on your video, and it got a couple thumbs down because God forbid you had taken a moment to be honest about your feelings and to let other moms know that like sometimes you feel this way. And that just made me so mad for so many different reasons, because I remember you and I having that conversation, and I remember revealing to you that like I would have thoughts of snatching Roman out of the crib, and it took every ounce of self-control that I had to lean down. When it was the 18th time I had laid him down in a row and he had just screamed non-stop, and 18 times I thought he was going to sleep, and I started something and then he woke up again, and it was like that. You just want to burst through the door, snatch him up and sit him down and say, fine, sit there. And no one ever wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
No one ever wants to admit that. They want to come on Instagram and pretend like they're perfect mommies. And some of them probably are, but most of them probably aren't. So I think if you don't have someone who you can express those honest feelings to, who can say to you 2 things. One, who can say to you, yep, that's normal and it feels awful and it sucks when you feel that way and I've been there and I feel for you, but you're gonna feel better. But 2, just as important, to have a friend who's willing to say that you're feeling is not normal.
Yeah.
That you're feeling concerns me as your friend, and I think you need to talk to somebody who's not me. Like, I think you need to find a professional. And I feel like we have that trust. Like, at this point, I feel like Nicole could honestly say to me, like, Amber, what you're talking about, you shouldn't be feeling like that. That's out of the norm. I'm alarmed by what you just said. And then I could be like, man, she's probably right.
Somebody is probably struggling with something at some point in their motherhood journey, whether it's a relationship with their in-laws, a relationship with their husband, feeling like they maybe don't enjoy being around their children as much as they thought. And it's really important. And I'm so grateful to have somebody who, I'm lucky that Amber can really relate with a lot of the individual, very specific struggles that I've had. But some of the things that I struggle with, Amber hasn't, and she still is willing to let me share about that with no judgment and a lot of sympathy and a lot of prayer. I know Amber prays for me, and that's a huge encouragement.
So if there's anything that I would leave you with, and we have put no thought into how we would conclude this video, it would be that reaching out to other moms is hard, and you're gonna strike out a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, there have been people that I thought were gonna be my best friends online, and just the relationship fizzled. We both got too busy. We found out we didn't have that much in common, you know, but always trying to make those friendships. And if 1 out of 10 becomes a real friend, then it was worth it.
So this is the third time that I've been to Georgia, and Amber is always very supportive and welcoming when I'm here. I stay at her house, and I get to hold her children and spend some time with her, and I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you.
Oh,
Because I don't know what I would do. I'm getting I'm getting a total vacation this weekend. I don't have my kids here, and I really enjoy the opportunity to kind of refresh myself and get to spend this quality time with her. And I'm so grateful that she spurred me on to come this weekend, because I just moved and I have a lot of stuff going on, and I didn't think this was going to happen. And Amber was really insistent on me being here, and I just really appreciate that.
you're welcome for inviting you here to help take care of my children and help me put on my event. So you guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Nicole flies out today, so we're gonna go spend some quality time together, try to relish those last few hours together. I'm not really sure if this is an inspirational video or if it's just
Rambling?
probably the latter. So I hope it's something you can relate to. I hope it helps in some way. If not, I at least hope it entertained you.
Yep.
All right, guys, love ya, mean it always, mwah, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Yes, girl.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha. Instagram husband. YouTube husband.
Insta dad.
Insta baby.